At my ex-wife's wedding, I knew walking into that hall was going to be uncomfortable. After all, I was the man she once promised forever to, and now I was just another guest watching her marry someone else. Still, I showed up because I wanted to prove to myself that I had moved on, that I could face the past without bitterness. I wore my best suit, carried myself with quiet confidence, and took a seat near the back, hoping to remain unnoticed. But it didn't work. The moment I walked in, I caught whispers and smirks. Old mutual friends spotted me, and soon enough, the jokes started flying. "Look who finally crawled out of hiding," one sneered. Another leaned in toward his buddy and said, loud enough for me to hear, "Guess he came to see what a real husband looks like." Laughter erupted around them, and though I tried to brush it off, every jab was a reminder of my failures. I sat quietly, pretending not to notice. My hands gripped the chair so tightly my knuckles turned white. One friend, clearly drunk already, stumbled over to me and said, "Man, doesn't it burn? Watching her glow like that? She looks happy, and you look like someone who lost the lottery." His words cut deep, but I simply smiled faintly and muttered, "I'm glad she's happy." That only made them laugh harder. As the ceremony began, I focused on staying calm. She walked down the aisle, radiant in her dress, her new husband beaming with pride. For a brief moment, I felt an ache in my chest, not of love, but of nostalgia. I remembered the woman she was when we first met, the dreams we once shared. But that was another life. I told myself I was here to close that chapter completely. Then, just before the vows, one of the so-called friends near the front couldn't resist making another joke. He leaned toward the people beside him and whispered, again loud enough to reach me, "Let's hope this one lasts longer than the last disaster." The row chuckled. My face burned with humiliation, and I considered walking out right then. But before I could stand, something unexpected happened. My ex-wife, standing there with her new husband, turned her head sharply toward the crowd. Her smile faded, and in a voice firm enough to silence the room, she said, "Enough. I won't let anyone disrespect him here." The hall froze. Every laugh, every whisper died instantly. She looked directly at me, and for a second, it felt like time stopped. "You all can mock him, but let me remind you of something," she continued, her voice steady but emotional. "That man was my first love. He was the one who stood by me when I had nothing, the one who supported me when I doubted myself, the one who taught me what it means to truly be cared for. Our marriage didn't last, but that doesn't erase the fact that he gave me years of his life, his loyalty, and his heart. Without him, I wouldn't be the woman I am today." The guests sat in stunned silence. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. My ex-wife, on her wedding day, was defending me with more respect than those so-called friends ever had. Her groom, surprisingly, nodded in agreement, placing a gentle hand on her arm as if to say he supported every word. She finished with a final blow that silenced them completely. "If anyone here can't show him the respect he deserves, then you don't belong at my wedding." No one dared to speak after that. The air was heavy, almost sacred. I felt my throat tighten, emotions I thought were long gone rushing back. But this time, it wasn't sadness, it was closure. For the first time in years, I felt seen, validated, even honored. When the ceremony ended, I quietly slipped out before the reception began. I didn't need to stay any longer. Walking out into the cool evening air, I realized I had finally let go. The whispers, the jokes, the humiliation, they no longer mattered. What mattered was that in the end, she gave me something I never expected: respect. And that was enough.